I always tell you that this is my favorite chapter, but this is really my favorite chapter for this reason. The more you hear about the way the world is going and how bad it is, this chapter answers the question, how can we share the eternal gospel in such an evil world? With people with such hard hearts, with sin so rampant, with demons so prevalent, with, you know what I mean? With like the whole world seems to be going away from God. Everything, structurally, it's going away from God, not just philosophically. So this chapter answers that question, and well, actually these two chapters, chapters 14 and 15. Where are we? We're still right in the middle of tribulation, but we're in the midst of these parenthetical chapters that explain things and kind of bring us up to speed. In the big picture of things, we've moved now to chapter 14. Lost humanity believes in evolution, reveres the earth. In fact, I told you this is the first time they proposed Earth Day be a global religious holiday. Now, think about it. What they're saying is, it's okay to have Christianity, it's okay to have Islam, it's okay to have Buddhism, it's okay to have Shintoism. We're going to add another religion globally, earth worship. And so it's okay to be an earth worshiper or an Islamist or a Christian or a Taoist or a Buddhist. That's unprecedented. Earth worship was called historically, until the 20th century, it was called paganism, always. The Druids that worshiped, the solstice and all Stonehenge and all that stuff was called paganism. And it was. They worshiped the earth. But now you are living in a time this year where the world and the United Nations and America are considering whether or not Earth Day should be the religious holiday of earth worshipers, of environmentalists, of what formerly were called pagans. Unbelievable. You know what the Bible calls them? Calls them earth dwellers. All the way through Revelation, 7 times it says the people opposed to God, opposed to Christ's rule, and welcoming the Antichrist, and willing to come and fight against God, they're called earth dwellers. And what they say is, I'm living for this place. This world is my home, and this is my mother, and I draw my life from earth. Well, lost humanity believes in evolution, reveres the earth, these earth dwellers, denies biblical creationism. So God sends his 144,000 to give everyone an opportunity to be saved during the final divine environmental destructions. Did you know it's not profitable for Christians to say, there's no climate change? That's just become a political toy that people are playing with. There is climate change. By the way, there's always been climate change. The biggest climate change was the flood. You understand that? That's where we got the ice ages from. The global flood of Noah changed the whole ecosystem of the earth and the whole environment from being global tropical. Did you know they find ferns? You know, ferns, those green things that are potted. You can get them at Publix. A fern with one frond as big as that wall. They find them in Antarctica, in the beds of coal. A fern frond that's 20 feet high. How do you grow that? Well, if the whole earth is a greenhouse, which is probably what it was like in the time. Well, how did God describe the earth in Genesis 1 and 2? A mist came up and watered everything. It's kind of like we were in one big greenhouse here. So the global flood changed all that. So we believe in climate change. We believe in climate disasters. The flood was the first great ecological disaster because it killed every human on earth. Probably 1 billion were alive after the first 1,000 years. 1 billion people got drowned. That's the biggest ecological disaster of all time. But God, during the even greater ecological disaster, the final divine environmental destruction is when God the Son, who is the creator, systematically destroys the atmosphere. Wow. They just had that volcano 2 weeks ago in Russia, in the peninsula out there, sticking out in the Pacific, and it blasted ash and covered 5 inches on I mean, the people really thought the world was ending. Just imagine when the whole atmosphere, the whole earth, and all of the oceans are dying, and the land is smoldering from all the trees and grass burning, and it's punctuated with earthquakes, and the smoke and the fires and the red tides and the global warming. I mean, the sun scorches everybody on earth, gets scorched by the sun, and there are volcanoes, tsunamis from all these earthquakes, stuff falling from the through the atmosphere like asteroids, comets. That wormwood is probably a comet, meteors. And that isn't even yet Armageddon, when the blood is up to the horse's bridle. What that means is it's splashing.